Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, we had quite a number of things happen. Now, we had Deku. We also had Jiro and Ochako. Now, they have met Melissa Shield. Deku, he was quite impressed. Right now, All Might, he decided to take them to Island with him. All Might, he went to go see David Shield about a device that may be able to restore him to his former glory. At least get him somewhere close to his prime power. The device will amplify his quirk. Now, Deku, he heard about that. All Might just tried to give the boy who went through quite a lot, has lost a lot of friends getting to that point, and a hospital bed. He tried to give that boy hope. Right now, the world, it's dark, it's bad. Everyone around him, they can't help him. All his friends have been picked off one by one. He wanted to give that boy hope, not realizing he was the very enemy. The boy he talked to was Renegade. And All Might, he just told him something he can use to amplify his abilities, without the drawbacks or withdrawals of a drug. Now, All Might, he was talking to David Shield. They're talking about Plan A, and then Plan B. And Deku, right now he's trying to get into the good graces of Melissa Shield. Possibly use her as an asset. Turn her to his side, willingly, or if he does need to, use force. Take a form of leverage. I mean, she's a brilliant inventor. That is quite apparent in a few of the things Deku saw in her mind. But, what about her father? If her father can make a device to amplify quirks, maybe he can make more than one. Maybe he can be given the blueprint and Deku can build it himself. Get close enough to David's shield and take it, or just have him build a new one with his daughter as leverage. There's so many things that Renegade can do here. But right now, Izuku, he has to play nice. They'll be here for a few days. So when he does find a chance, he'll want to slip in the right spot to get what he needs. Now, with that being said, there actually is Deku right now. Deku, currently, he is walking around the park. And he is trying to figure out quite a few things. He wants to see a few of the things that they do have here. I mean, right now, his plans have been coming together. But this new variable, he has to factor a few things into it. Let's see, what can he do? Something that he can do to make things a bit easier. Possibly better. No. I can't improvise that. Okay, but what can I improvise? Now, Deku's going through it in his head. Okay, so he needs to make sure that this is planned out. He needs to make sure that this can be handled properly. He needs to make sure this variable doesn't change. Now, Deku, he does actually meet up with somebody. As right now, whenever he does go to see Jiro in a shop, she just come running over to him. And right now, after going to pull him into a hug, she actually does talk about how she found something. Her holding it up. Talking about it. It's an old record. I mean, hell, she thought that they'd stopped making this thing. Plus, no scratches. Now, they're gonna see Jiro act a lot more excited. And right now, you're gonna tell her. Does she remember why they're here? Of course. This is very unique. I understand that. But right now, where is Melissa's shield? I don't know. Busy, I guess? She said that if we needed to, we can try and call her. But I didn't think that that would be a good idea. She's busy. So maybe just let her come to us? It doesn't work like that, Jiro. Her turning to him. As they could just tell her, right now, Melissa, she is busy, yes. But right now will also be their only chance for her to be close enough to them. Now, Melissa, she is valuable. A very good pawn. A very good piece. She doesn't go into the hero lifestyle because of her, well, situation, being quirkless and all. Now, Deku express though, she does have a very brilliant mind, and that mind, he wants to use it for good. His good. Now, Jiro she does understand, and right now Deku, he does go heading directly back to his room, as right now we do actually have a bit of time later. Melissa, she's currently in her lab, working on a number of things. And right now, while Melissa, she currently is going over the new device she's been creating, the gauntlet, she does think about it. This should be able to help people regulate a power properly. At least be able to use it without side effects. Come on. Her at least going to bring her hand out. And going to, somewhat, knock on the gauntlet a little hard. Before she just talk about how this thing, it just won't. Now, she's going to hit it again. And this time it would go back into the little wristband. Her a bit more happy about that. Before, she should at least bring down a tool and start to work on a few things. Going to take off the plate to it. And right now, there actually is where Deku, he does come walking through the door. And you're going to ask Melissa if they can talk. Sort of busy. It's fine. I can talk while you work, can't I? Yeah, go ahead. But I'm sort of focused. Right. Anyways, just listen for a little bit of time. A second. I want your help. With what? Her actually looking up towards Deku. That's an odd request. It's complicated. Listen, Melissa. I want to know what your dad, he's doing for All Might. My dad? But he's not doing anything for Uncle All Might. Melissa, that's a lie. Listen, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Honestly, can I be real with you for a second? Sure. Are you okay? Now, she's actually going to sit down her tools, turning towards Deku. As Deku does tell Melissa, he's had friends be butchered. He's had people die on him. A lot. He was almost murdered by Nomu twice. But there's something that he hasn't told anybody else. What are you talking about? I met Renegade at the USJ. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Look at my face, Melissa, please. Just, do you see this scar right here on my eye and the side of my face? Yeah, you were cut by something. A knife. I carried a knife on me for hero work. Aizawa carries one, and with my situation in the physical department, without powers, I rely on gadgets and tech. I was just never mind. It sounds stupid, but if we could have your help, it would do good. Renegade, he told me a lot at the USJ, and honestly, I'm scared. I mean, he could have taken me, but he let me live. He just drew a knife on my face and he just left me there. I I remember his beating. He could have killed me. He could have taken me and did God knows what with me. But I'm still alive. I I swear to God I saw him in that fucking forest. Listen, Melissa, please. I'm begging you here, and it is not an easy request. I'm trying to stay as calm and collected as I can, but I can't do this. The pressure, it's too much. I just want you to please try and help us while we're all still alive. Please, can you build something to save us? At least try and help us with all this. Now, Melissa, she does see Deku, tears rolling down his face. And, well, the seriousness. I mean, it's sort of unnerving. This guy was laughing, smiling, chatting away, and he was so calm the other day, but right now this is fear and panic. Raw fear and panic. He wants his friends to be okay, but right. His friend was put in the mental hospital. Of course. The guy's playing mental games on all of them. What a fucking psycho. Now, Melissa will go to stand. And right now, Deku, he does watch her. Her walking over to him, and right now pulling Deku into a hug. As Deku, he does have tears roll down his face, and he starts to cry. And right now, Melissa, she actually tried to help Deku get onto the ground a bit more calmly, because he seems to be sobbing in a pool of his own tears. Now, right now, the real Deku, he's picking around in Melissa's head, editing and changing quite a little bit of things. Minuscule. If he changes them too rapidly, then it will not work properly. It won't be where he wants it to be. Now, right now, Melissa, she actually does sit there. As you do have, where Deku, he does actually stop crying. And Melissa, she actually would watch as Deku, he does go to look up and directly at the corner. And right now, she'll go to turn her head. As there's Renegade, her eyes going wide. Because he's not just standing there by the wall, he's upside down? Now, Melissa does stare at it. What the hell is going on? No, no, no. She's definitely had way too much coffee. Okay, no, 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 wait. How many hours has she been working again? Okay, no, she slept yesterday, so it hasn't been 72 hours. Right. Now, Melissa will go to look back towards Deku, asking him if he's here. Now, Melissa's caught off guard. He's not here, but she was literally holding on to him a second ago. My, Miss Shield. Her turning her head and seeing Renegade. As right now he just stand there, just standing, foot on the ground, feet on the ground, both of them just looking in the corner. There's his mask, the fancy parlor mask, and then there's the paint on his face. It's red, but she thought he wore purple. No, or was it white? No, no, no. He's worn blue before, but who are you? Wait, why are you even here? Miss Shield, that's all quite simple. Her watching. As you're not Renegade, he would go to move rapidly towards her. And right now she does watch as he came right up towards her without even moving a muscle in his own body. And he does stand in front of her, looking actually down at her. He's here for a multitude of reasons. He is here because her daddy, he really doesn't understand anything. Her father, he really messed up. He did something quite illegal. In fact, even the number one hero is actively involved in it. Now, Melissa just turned her head confused, and right now she would actually go to bring her hands up to reach out towards him, before she was trying to tell him to back away from her. No. Melissa, she does immediately push onto this thing, her hands flying through it as she does go to push her weight forwards. And then there is whenever it does go to disappear. Before, whenever Melissa does actually move forwards into the ground, there is where she does find herself back in her chair. And right now she does look around before looking back down and see that she's still holding her tools. What the hell was that? Melissa, Deku walking in. And right now Melissa, she's stricken by deja vu. As this time Deku, he does do a little bit more things. He tries to talk to Melissa. And whenever he actually does start to talk about a few things and his problems and she just try to comfort him, there is where it does repeat up to the point where Deku, he turned his head to look at the corner. And this time, Melissa, she turned her head, and there actually was where a hand reached out for her own throat. Now, Deku, he actually saw Melissa. And right now, Melissa, she just does stare directly at the eyes of Renegade. The eyes of sadistic joy. The eyes of, well, a sadist. Now, right now, Melissa, she does go falling backwards. And right now, she does go clutching at her own throat, trying to understand what the hell's going on. And then there's actually where she does go to jump up awake in bed, and finding that her hand was on her own throat. Now, she's just caught off guard, confused. What the hell is happening? What the fuck is going on? That was a nightmare? No, 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 no. That can't have been real. She was just in her lab. But no, wait. When did she get home? Now, she's going to turn her head, going to grab her phone and check the time, and finding that it has been a long night. Now, Melissa's caught off guard. Okay. Just calm down and try to be a bit more careful. Maybe don't try and look at news stories before going to bed. Okay, yeah. That might be it. But maybe class 1A. Okay. Maybe that could be her conscience telling her to try and help them. Okay, yeah. Renegade's already in her dreams. And, well, the villains, they're not gonna stop. Now, Melissa's shield the next morning, she actually does go out to greet the UA students. And there actually is where Melissa, she does actually try and talk to Deku. Now, she wanted to present this to Deku just to see how it would make him feel. Maybe he can pass on word to Ochako and Jiro, since the two, they're exploring the park this morning, and maybe it might be better coming from him, not her. Now, right now, they're actually over Deku. He actually was going to thank Melissa for the conversation last night. And Melissa's a little confused. I talked to you last night. Sorry, it got a little out of hand. I do apologize for just sort of breaking down like that. A lot of pressure, I guess. Right. But wasn't that just a nightmare? That's not good. So, do you know what you could do? I don't. But I'm just a little caught off guard by this. I swear that I remember our conversation, but I could have swore. What else happened in that room after you left? I'm not sure, I guess. I talked to you, you consoled me for a second, then I left. I got up, you gave me a little speech, and I just went back to my room. That's all I remember. Why, are you okay? Did something happen? No. Melissa does just sit there, Okay, so what the hell? Now, Deku, he does gotta leave. And Melissa, she's still confused. The deja vu. I mean, the day's events. She's missing time? That's so weird. Now, Melissa, she has to chalk it up to her being confused and tired. And right now, there actually is where All Might, he's been testing that device, seeing how the quirk enhancer does do for one for all. And right now, he is actually a bit excited. He can actually feel the power flowing right through him. He feels better, but I mean, trying to make it a bit more subtle, maybe that would be a little better. Maybe hide it in a helmet, or yeah, maybe maybe a helmet would be a good idea. I mean, his face doesn't bring a smile to people anymore. Right now, it's not a time for smiling. Yeah, maybe All Might should make a little bit of a change. Besides, his legacy, the next generation, and his successor. Maybe being disconnected from him a little bit would help. Now, All Might, he does decide to do something a little drastic. He'll change up his image just a little bit. Right now, there's no time to smile. There's time to take down the villains. And if All for One knows that his helmet became the source of his power, basically, then things could be a problem. He'd attack the helmet and go directly for the enhancer. And then, poof. Normal man in front of All for One. Yeah, that would not go very well. That would be like an ant trying to fight the boot stomping it. Now, right now, All Might, he does have a few things go through his mind. However, there actually is Melissa. She's beginning to feel strange. Yes, she will help them, but she should probably talk to her dad. Maybe get Deku to talk to her father and see how that does go. I mean, yeah, he's a good kid, but what's this feeling she's getting? She feels like she's being watched. Now, right now, Melissa would go to turn her head, and she would see it in the corner of her eye. Her swiftly moving her head around and trying to see. She swears she saw his mask. Now, Melissa does look around, and there's nobody around. They're not wearing the mask or the paint, the red paint. She saw it. Where is it? Now, someone actually would have bumped into Melissa. Her turning and going to scream a bit. As the person, they try to ask her if she's okay. And Melissa, she would try and comment. She's fine. She just was surprised to all. Now, right now, Melissa, she is going to walk away. Very quickly. And Deku, his image would return back to normal. Him thinking that Melissa, she's questioning her own mind, wondering if she is sound. Or maybe she's wondering if involvement with them put her on Renegade's radar. Either way, she'll build things for 1A. So, she might build him an enhancer. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.